So, I'm going to talk about how technologies changed during the Gilded Age. Um, I'm just going to talk about like modern technology that we use today that are like really important. For example, telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, and we use our phones to like contact people faster, especially if it's like an emergency. Um, In 1877, Edward Muybridge invents the first moving pictures. That's how movies started. So that's cool. 1879, the light bulb was invented by Thomas Edison. Like there's light everywhere now, so that's cool. 1892, Rudolf Diesel invents the diesel-fueled combustion engine. I don't really know what that is, but it sounds important. 1902, Willis Carey invented the air conditioning. That's actually a big one because, Palmdale weather, and I don't do well in the heat. I get really moody and it's not fun. 1913, Gideon Sundback invented the modern zipper. The zipper is pretty important, as you know. Yeah. 1919, Charles Strite invented the pop-up toaster. That's how we make our bread, toasted stuff, and toast our Pop-Tarts. Yeah.
Government during the Gilded Age didn't seem to be very easy. Corruption was happening during this time period. Many laws had been passed to help out the community, such as the Commerce Act of 1887 that has federal regulation over the railroads, which has made an impact in today's society. Also, many jobs, homes, and contracts were given in exchange for the vote, since not many people had the right to vote. As well as the meat inspection was passed due to how the meat was in its packaging. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 was passed, so it would be meant to curb the power of the large corporations. Also, the Gilded Age did have an impact on women, such as their right to vote. By the 1900s, more than half of the states were allowing women to vote, and 4 of the western states have adopted to full women's suffrage. The laws that were passed in this time period have made an impact in today's society.
Hi, okay, so I did the living and working conditions of the Gilded Age. So start off, living conditions. They were so terrible. There was trash piled up everywhere. The drinking water was poor. It was bad. It was unsanitary. And it was so overpopulated. So most of the immigrants and poor people, they lived in these things called tenements, which were just like small, rickety apartment buildings. And so people would have to like go together, and like they would pay the rent together because it was too expensive, and for what they were making, it would just sucked. So a lot of people would sleep in the hallways and on the staircase because they had nowhere else to go, so they had to. And people would just be hungry all the time because they barely made anything. And so that was living conditions. So working conditions. Pretty much people were working on average 10 to 18 hours a day, and they were basically making about 10 cents an hour, if that. If you got hurt, nothing really happened. The court wasn't in your favor. They didn't care, really. They had no sympathy for you. People were exposed to toxic fumes that they shouldn't have been exposed to. In some companies, there are fatalities every single day. And so just the working conditions, they were really bad. And for child labor laws, there was none. So a lot of kids that should have been in school and getting an education, they couldn't because they needed to help support their family and sustain their life. And so those were the working conditions. Bye.